All right, catching up on free agency because 7,354 things have happened since my last video. Zach Allen to the Denver Broncos. They are spending money like it doesn't even exist, but that's a good signing. Next up, the Chargers picked up Eric Kendricks. I mean, it's a good pickup, but it's another player that they're trying to grab at the end of their career, so I hope it works out. Jameis signed a one-year extension to the Saints. Okay. Kind of an underrated signing here, but the Texans got Jimmy Ward. That's going to be good, him and Derek Stingley. Minnesota Vikings signed Marcus Davenport to a one-year deal. I think it was $13 million. Not too bad. Honestly, if he can stay healthy, that's going to be really good. Seattle signed Draymond Jones to a 3-year, $51 million deal. The Broncos and Seahawks connection just continues to thrive. This morning, the Falcons signed Taylor Heineke to a contract. He's probably going to be the starter or compete, obviously, with Ritter. I really thought they were going to pick up Matt Ryan for one final ride. The Cleveland Browns are getting Dalvin Tomlinson to a 4-year, $57 million deal. Former Viking, former Giant. Colts signed Matt Gay to a 4-year, $22.5 million deal. All right, cool. Jets are actively working to reach an agreement with Alan Lazard because they have Hackett and probably because they have Rodgers, but he's debating retiring now, so they're not going to announce it. Shaq Mason was traded to the Texans. I think it was a very late round pick if I read that correctly. And ironically, funny enough, Jacoby Myers went to the Raiders. The team, you know, that he threw a win to last year. That's good stuff. All right, we got a bunch more free agency updates for you guys after day 2. First off, we got the Lions. They signed David Montgomery to a 3-year deal. Look, I like David, but I don't like this move for the Lions. They should have paid Jamal whatever he wanted. He was an excellent asset to that team. After that, the Colts released Matt Ryan. That wasn't a shock to anybody, but I just want to say one more time, I think he should go to Atlanta for one final year. Just be the veteran with Desmond and Taylor. The Panthers signed Andy Dalton to a 2-year deal. It's going to be the same thing that happened with him and Justin Fields in Chicago, so don't expect to start a full season, Andy, because I can almost promise you won't. Next up, this was massive. The Cowboys traded for Stephon Gilmore. Now they got him and Trayvon in the secondary. That is deadly. The Eagles picked up Rashad Penny. I mean, he's actually a really good running back. He's a former first-round pick, too, if you guys remember that. But his issue is the same as a lot of other free agents. Injuries, man. He's just got to stay healthy. Massive move by the Giants here. They traded for Darren Waller. I know I reacted to that one, but still, like, I mean, that was just big on their part. Like I said, they need a ton of receivers, but he is going to help them. After that, we got James Bradberry returning to Philly on a 3-year deal. Good for them. I know people are going to troll him forever because of the Super Bowl play, but I mean, he's a good cornerback, guys. The Saints restructured Michael Thomas's contract. He is now staying in New Orleans. All right, good for them. Next up, the Vikings signed Byron Murphy. That's massive considering they don't have a cornerback right now aside from like one guy, so good for them. And this one hasn't happened yet, but a lot of people are talking about it. The Cowboys are expected to release Zeke, and that's not really a surprise to anybody. I mean, Pollard's better than him at this stage in his career, and Zeke's getting paid way too much. All right, a couple of key free agency updates from Wednesday. First off, Darius Slay is expected to be released, or he already is. This picture was screenshotted a couple hours ago. I hope he goes to the Minnesota Vikings, and if he doesn't go there, I think the Chargers would be a good fit if they could afford him. Next up, the Buccaneers got Baker Mayfield on a 1-year deal for $8.5 million. I would imagine he's going to be the starter. I know they've liked Trask, but they can't be comfortable with him. Give it to a guy with some experience. If Baker pans out, okay, you got a future. If he doesn't, then kiss him goodbye. It's cheap. And finally, Daddy is coming home! All right, we got one final round of free agency updates for Wednesday. Jacoby Brissett signed a deal with the Commanders. Honestly, until Baker went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I thought Jacoby was going there. Zeke being released is no longer a rumor. It is a fact. He is gone. The Patriots signed Juju Smith-Schuster to a 3-year deal. I mean, it's not on him. It's just the fact that he's on that team. He's going to get like 500 yards and 3 touchdowns a season. It's not going to be good. Browns finally cut this bum. It was pretty much expected since he's been stirring up shit there for a couple months. What kind of career has this man had, dude? It's been wild. Fletcher Cox is going back to the Eagles for 1 year, $10 million. I'm sure that'll be his last. I'm going to give it my best shot here, guys. Larry Ogunjobi, 3-year contract to the Steelers. You guys are going to roast the shit out of me. Cleveland also released John Johnson. Now, that one does shock me, unless, like, I'm just not with the times. Isn't he a really good safety? Like, what is it, budgetary reasons? And then people keep asking me to say something about Mike White going to Miami for some reason, and I don't know what to say, guys. He might not even win the job as a backup. I think he's ass. All right, guys, let's get you some free agency updates as of Friday morning. Well, things have obviously slowed down. That's why I haven't posted today. But to start off, Paris Campbell signed a one-year deal with the Giants after his good season with the Colts. Speaking of the Colts, they picked up Gardner Minshew, and I got to imagine he's the starter day one, even if they draft a rookie. Like, he's definitely going to be the best one there. After a small reconsideration, Darius Slay has agreed to stay with the Eagles on a 2-year extension. I'm sure he just doesn't want to leave that system, man. They're so close to a ring. Why would he? Moving on to this morning, Mike Gesicki signed with the Patriots. I'm not going to lie, I don't really like that signing. I feel like they're going to waste him like they did with Jonnu Smith. But Bill O'Brien could prove me wrong, and I like Mike. That's why I want him to do good. The Eagles picked up Marcus Mariota. Dude, I fucking hate this guy. Like, I can't stand him at all. Seahawks are signing Devin Bush. Isn't he a former first-round pick, relatively high too, if I'm not wrong? Cowboys re-signed Cooper Rush, so basically Dak is gone. Just kidding. The Bears got PJ Walker, which is kind of funny since him and DJ had that huge Hail Mary last year. They wanted to go and get the smoke back. Not sure if I talked about this one or not, but Orlando Brown signed a 4-year deal with the Bengals. That is massive for them, man. They really needed that. And then we've got a bunch of cuts, the first being my own receiver, Isaiah McKenzie. I'm going to miss you, you little muscle hamster. Good luck. After that, the Patriots cut Jalen Mills. I mean, I feel like he's going to be able to find a job pretty easily. And lastly, to nobody's shock, the Buccaneers cut Leonard fullback. Oh man, if the Bills pick him up, I'm going to be so pissed. I've talked so much shit about him, I can't support him. I won't. My legs couldn't physically do it.